Welcome to your Tech News Today, a podcast about keeping you informed and empowered by giving you the latest tech stories that impact your daily life. We'll get started in just a moment. Right now, we'd like to recognize our partners who help make this podcast possible. It's Thursday, November 15th. I'm Mike James. Coming up in a bit, we'll tell you why smartphones might be a thing of the past. Plus, some veterans are now eligible for low-cost internet, and a self-driving rideshare service could launch as early as next month. All that today on Tech News Today. We start with some shocking news for all you smartphone fans. Some analysts believe that we're nearing the end of the smartphone era. Can you believe it? It's only been about a decade since those amazing handheld smartphones came into our lives, and now they're going away? As unlikely as it sounds, it could be true. According to Future Today Institute's latest annual technology report, 2018 marks the beginning of the end of traditional smartphones. It predicts that over the next decade, we'll begin to transition to the next era of computing and connected devices. Instead of carrying that phone around in your pocket, you'll be wearing technology that can be controlled by voice commands or by gestures and touch. Wearable technology will include things like smart glasses, rings, and bracelets that have sensors and speakers built right in. One sign that smartphones could soon be a thing of the past is their declining sales. Even though popular phone makers like Apple and Samsung recently delivered flashy new models, fewer people are buying them than in past years. That doesn't necessarily mean an end to that technology, though. Skyrocketing costs is more likely the reason for phone sales declining, with mobile phone companies ending incentives like New Every Two, where you would get a new phone, a free one, or deeply discounted one every couple of years. People are also having to foot the entire bill on their own phone. Add that to the fact that prices are out of control, where some gadgets are well over $1,000, and it only makes sense that people are keeping their old phones longer. With the new 5G technology and the foldable phones on the way that we've talked about, we'll have to wait and see the true fate of smartphones. Hey, can you remember a time before the internet you actually had to drive to the mall to pick up that new pair of shoes or sit in horrible traffic instead of working from the comfort of home? Well, nowadays, the internet keeps us in touch with family and friends, informs us of news happening around the globe, and can be a huge part of the work we perform every day. For many companies, the only way to apply for a job is online, and it's easy to see how the internet has become such a necessity in life. Problem is, internet access can be expensive and unaffordable to many. So that's why Comcast started the Internet Essential program back in 2011. It provides internet service to low-income households for just $10 per month. Now, the program reaches roughly 6 million people around the country. In honor of Veterans Day this week, Comcast extended the program to veterans. So you can qualify if you are a verified veteran and receive state or federal assistance. Eligible vets can even get a desktop or laptop computer for $150, which includes Microsoft Office through the program. So pretty good deal. And coming up next, are self-driving ride shares becoming a reality? Right now, let me tell you about the amazing Epson Fast Photo Scanner. Kim may be America's digital pro, but even she enjoys forgetting about the tech when it comes to the new Epson Fast Photo and scanning photos. Scan stacks of photos from wallet size to 8x10, even Polaroids. Fast Photo offers automatic two-sided scanning, so you can even capture the handwritten notes on the back of your pictures. Damaged or faded photos? Well, Fast Photo has the software to automatically restore your memories. And best of all, it's easy. Order yours today when you go to visit Epson.com/fastphoto. That's Epson.com/fastphoto. Oh, we've been hearing about self-driving cars for years. You may have seen a couple out on the streets being driven by companies like Uber. Well, brace yourself. It sounds like autonomous ride shares are just about to become a reality. An anonymous source recently told Bloomberg that Waymo is going to launch a fleet of commercial self-driving cars as early as December. The driverless car service will operate under a new brand name to compete with the likes of Uber and Lyft. It's expected to roll out in Phoenix, home of the Commando Show, next month, and in other cities around the country later. The unnamed source said that the first round of customers will be part of Waymo's early rider programs that consist of about 400 volunteer families. They'll help the business grow by word of mouth and posts on social media. At least that's what they're hoping for. Now, if you happen to catch a ride in one of these driverless cars, you won't be alone, at least in the beginning. The company will have backup drivers in the cars to calm passengers' fears and take control of the vehicle if something were to go wrong. Hopefully better than the thing that happened with the Uber driver. So let us know what you think. Are you ready to grab a ride without a driver? And another day, another scam to warn you about. This one has actually been circulating for months now, but it's been tweaked just a little each time it strikes. It began in recent months with hackers impersonating Tesla CEO Elon Musk on Twitter. They hack into verified Twitter accounts of prominent companies and take them over by featuring Musk's name and image. The crook then posts a message on the compromised Twitter account claiming to be Musk, and then he's given away tons of money in the forms of Bitcoin. Well, here's the catch. To get your chunk of the money, you need to first send in a small amount of cash to the address linked in the message. Of course, this is just a big, elaborate scam. People who send in the money never see it again. The racket took another turn this week. On Tuesday, hackers took over Target's Twitter account and claimed the retailer was giving away thousands of Bitcoin. But with the same catch as before, you would need to send in money first before you could collect your portion of the giveaway. Well, it's already happened again. One of Google's Twitter accounts was just hijacked and had the same scam posted. It claimed that Google is giving away 10,000 Bitcoin and that it decided to make the biggest crypto giveaway in the world. Fortunately, the account was only compromised for a few minutes before Google took back control and removed the tweet. This appears to be an ongoing problem that Twitter needs to fix. In the meantime, if you see any posts about getting free Bitcoin, just don't believe it. Move on, it's most likely a hoax. We told you about the Windows 10 October update that went horribly wrong. And if you don't remember, Microsoft halted the public rollout just days after its release because numerous people were complaining that it deleted large chunks of files from their gadget. After an investigation and apparently fixing the bug causing the problem, Microsoft resumed the Windows 10 update to people enrolled in its Insider program. Just over a month later, Microsoft is set to re-release the troubled update again. But should you update your device now with all the bugs and quality issues plaguing Microsoft software products this year? Well, it's probably not a good idea to update early, especially if you rely on your machine for daily tasks. That's what we've been doing here at Commander.com. We've actually pushed these updates to a later time till they figure out what's going wrong with them. It's better to wait a while to make sure it's stable enough to install, and there are always ways to postpone updates on Windows 10. And the best way to find out how is to visit Commander.com and read our article titled Windows 10 October Updates Re-Released. Should you wait? It'll tell you everything you need to know about what went wrong with the update and then how to postpone it. It might just help save some critical files on your gadget as well, so definitely check that out if you can. Again, the article is Windows 10 October Update Re-Released. Should you wait? Coming up in just a moment, you won't believe what Keurig is brewing next. Right now, a quick thank you to our friends who helped make this podcast possible. Have you ever tried a coffee made in a Keurig machine? Well, of course you have. The company revolutionized coffee making a few years back by letting you brew shop-quality coffee drinks in a matter of seconds, and you don't have to make an entire pot at a time either. You just put one of the little coffee pods into the machine, and you have the perfect cup of coffee. We have one here at the Commando Studios. Well, get a load of this. Keurig is now making a move into the cocktail market. That's right, cocktails. The company is teaming up with Anheuser-Busch on a product called DrinkWorks. The new machine will let you make a pre-mixed cocktail or beer instead of coffee. The first cocktail machine is called the DrinkWorks Home Bar by Keurig and debuted earlier this week. It works and looks like a typical Keurig coffee maker, but this one has a little kick. The current drink list includes a daiquiri, a Long Island iced tea, margarita, mojito, White Russian, and more. You just place a pod in the machine, press a button, and your cocktail of choice will be on the way. It's pretty cool. Pre-orders are being accepted for select locations right now, but the machine won't be delivered until sometime next year. If you want to see it in action, check it out at drinkworks.com. Well, most of the news you hear on social media these days is bad, but we actually have something positive to tell you about today. Facebook and Instagram have started using artificial intelligence to identify drug dealers on their sites. Of course, there's a massive opioid epidemic in the United States. Things are so bad that the Department of Health and Human Services declared a public health emergency last year. And the numbers are staggering. In 2016 and 2017, over 130 people die every day from opioid-related drug overdoses. And nearly 11.5 million people misused prescription opioids during that time. So horrific numbers like that is what prompted Facebook and Instagram to start using proactive detection technology. It lets them remove drug-related posts even before they are seen or reported by users. A Facebook rep said, "Our technology is able to detect content that includes images of drugs and depicts the intent to sell with information such as price, phone numbers, and usernames or other social media accounts." These two social media sites have joined Google and Twitter to create a new group called Tech Together to fight the opioid crisis. So it is a step in the right direction for sure. And by the way, if you like the podcast, please share it with your friends on Facebook and Twitter. We appreciate that. It helps more people find us. And finally, for today's Commando Kicker, what would you do to get attention on social media? One vlogger decided to drop an iPhone into an abandoned nuclear plant cooling tower. Lucky it was one of the many he had, but what would happen to it? Well, first he had to use a drone to lift the phone high enough above the tower. Surprisingly, the retrieved phone suffered little aside from a large crack against the touchscreen. It still retained full functionality. Hopefully he shares his secrets because it seems like that did more damage than a 2-foot drop that shatters the screen. For more fun and interesting facts, go to Commando.com. We appreciate that. And this week on Commando On Demand, we talk about hacked medical devices. We talk to experts about what's going on with these medical devices like pacemakers and how difficult are they really to hack into and cause, well, permanent damage. That's on this week's Commando On Demand. Get it at podnet.com or on your favorite podcast player by searching Commando On Demand. That's Komando On Demand. Thanks for listening. We'll see you tomorrow.